Hello, welcome back to my channel, and today we're talking about the Champions League here. The first match day is done, so let's go through all the games here. There's 16 games, and let's see what we've learned. Do be liking and subscribing, as always, helps the channel out a ton, and let's get straight into it. So, the first game was Juventus against PSV, which ended 3-1 for Juventus. There's nothing surprising there. I did not watch the game, however, so I cannot comment a lot. The next game was Aston Villa against Young Boys against Aston Villa. 3-0, again, nothing surprising. The first interesting game, in my opinion, is Real Madrid against Stuttgart, where Real Madrid really struggled. They won 3-1 in the end, but it wasn't an easy victory. At some point it was 1-1. Real Madrid was not getting the chances that they needed. Mbappé and Vinicius were not proving themselves very well on the pitch. And at the end of the day, people have been talking more about Endrick than about either one of the two big stars at Real Madrid. So, that's usually a sign that something is not quite going right. Real Madrid has not been good all season long. They've gotten wins, but they have not been impressive. So, it's interesting to see how Real Madrid develop here throughout the season, because they continue to play poorly like that, they continue to get wins if they play poorly like that. I reckon that Ancelotti might get sacked if there is a negative result in El Clasico, which is coming up next week, I believe. Then Bayern Dinamo Zagreb. I made an entire video on that one already. Wow, 9-2. Who predicted that? Who had that on their bingo books? It was quite a dominant performance by Bayern München. A lot of penalties. Harry Kane, 3 penalties, and a tap-in. Let's not get too excited about his 4 goals. That's what I've been told by Bayern München fans. They really don't like that geezer, but Bayern München was very solid, which is really an understatement. And we saw that Bayern München has the ability to score the goals, sure, but I won't really say that it showed us anything new about the Bayern München. It seems like a disaster class by Dinamo Zagreb, and I don't think Bayern München are gonna be winning 5-0 all of these games in the Champions League. Simply don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's very similar to Pep Guardiola's first season at Man City. Sure, they were scoring a lot of goals, but did they win anything in the end? No. Now I do think Bayern München is probably winning the Bundesliga though. Then Sporting against Lille. Sporting won, which I expected, but Lille took a red card somewhere in the process of that game, and Sporting won 2-0. It was rather comfortable for Sporting actually, so I expected them to win. I did not expect it to be that comfortable. Maybe the red card, you can say the red card helped in that, but it was only in the 40th minute, and I feel like Sporting was already very comfortable. So it's maybe not a great performance by Lille. Milan, Liverpool, that's maybe the first really interesting game. Milan went in front, they played well, and the pressure was on Liverpool to perform. And of course Liverpool came back, 3-1 in the end. And you can look at Arne Slot and say, Arne Slot masterminded a victory here, but the truth is, even when Milan was winning, I don't feel like they were comfortable. Tell me down below if you disagree, but even when AC Milan was winning, they did not feel comfortable to me. I think Liverpool was just more clicking into gear. It was playing better, even though Milan did have the lead at the time. Once Liverpool got the lead, I feel like Milan just faded away and they didn't mount any resistance anymore, which that asks more questions, in my opinion, of AC Milan than of Liverpool. Then Bologna against Shakhtar Donetsk. A 0-0, very boring game, not much to say about it. Sparta Praha beating RB Salzburg 3-0, that is a big surprise, so I had not expected that. I was watching the game, I turned it on when it was like 1-0, and I was like, no way, they actually win this. And, well, they did. They did win it. They scored the 2-0 a little after I turned it on. I was like, no way. There is an entire second half. Maybe Salzburg comes back, but no. It became 3-0 at like, I don't know, 60 minutes, 65 minutes, something like that. And Salzburg just faded away. It was a poor performance by RB Salzburg, but credit to Sparta Prague where it's due. They were on it. They took the chances that they had, and they just punished Salzburg for a maybe lesser performance. PSG Girona. This is not the same Girona as last season, let me tell you that. This is not the same Girona that you saw last year. It's a significantly weaker Girona. And PSG struggled. It struggled a lot. PSG should not struggle so much with Girona. The fact of the matter is, PSG is just not as good as they used to be. They have been going downhill for a while now, I believe, even before Neymar left. I think even when Messi arrived. Okay, Messi came in, he was great at PSG, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. But, because that's a myth, he has like the best assisting percentage in League 1 history. But the rest of the squad felt consistently weakening. And now PSG just... Do they have any big players? I don't think they do. I don't think Donnarumma is a big player. He got a lot of hype for the Euros, but snap back to reality, that's just an international tournament. Now let's see if you can do it in Champions League, I suppose. I think PSG is just... I find it very difficult to believe that they will win the Champions League within the next decade. I simply don't think within the next decade they touch that trophy. I think within the next decade you probably have Man City, Real Madrid, potentially even Barcelona, and probably Bayern München getting to the Champions League. I don't know who else. Maybe Liverpool, depending on how Arne Slot does, but I don't see PSG touching that trophy. I really don't. It was an uninspired performance against Girona, and it was only a bare win, 1-0, at home. Could have been better than that. Club Brugge, Dortmund. Inshallah. Club Brugge played better. Club Brugge played a lot better than Dortmund. They were all over Dortmund. They won their games. They won their challenges. They won their duels. But they could not win the game. And that ultimately comes down to poor finishing. Because if Club Brugge takes their chances, let's say they are 2-0 up, Dortmund does not come back from that. I have watched Dortmund in the Bundesliga this season. When they go down, they crumble. They do not mount a resistance. They are like, well, let's give up. That's what Dortmund does right now. They get worse every time they concede a goal. If they concede one goal, maybe they try. If they concede 2 goals and they're 2 down, they crumble away. And I think Club Brugge could have really won that game if they had a clinical striker. Unfortunately, they do not. And Dortmund, a lucky goal, to be fair, a lucky goal. But once it went in, Club Brugge collapsed and Dortmund just took that over completely. Celtic against Slovan Bratislava. I expected Celtic to win. I did not expect 5-1. Tell me what you guys expected from that game, but 5-1 is certainly not what I expected from it. And I don't know if this tells us the strength of Celtic, or if this tells us the weakness of Slovan Bratislava. I don't know which it is, but I am surprised to see that Monster scored in that game. Then Manchester City Internationally, that game was unbelievably boring. And all it shows us is Man City need to get somebody to score the goals other than Haaland. Because Pep Guardiola was talking about Haaland has 6 people on him. Yes, he does. Which means that now you have De Bruyne free, Rodri free, Who else was on the pitch? Bernardo Silva free, Grealish free, Savio free. Why can those 5 players not find the net? The thing is, yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo would have never been a prolific goal scorer the way he was. Or well, he would have been a prolific goal scorer, but he would never have gotten the numbers he did if he did not play for a club where, for example, Valverde shooting from distance could score. Valverde didn't play with Ronaldo, but it's just an example. But those are like the types of players, like Kroos, having dangerous players who can whip a goal in from afar. Having players like Marcelo, Bale, other players in that team, Karim Benzema, that can provide goals. Because here's the thing, if a team only has one source of goals, in this case, Haaland, then you just take away that source of goals. It's very simple. You can't put 6 players on Erling Haaland if doing that means De Bruyne, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, Foden later on, Gundogan all score. Because it should be basic that the more players you put on a single attacker, the worse you actually are, because they'll just score more from different sources. Manchester City is currently not doing that, and that is something Man City needs to fix up in. To be able to utilize Haaland fully, while also, if Haaland is marked by 3 men, 4 men, to just score from different places and make it even worse. Pretty much you're asking the question, do you want to concede 5 goals from midfielders, or do you want to concede 3 goals from Erling Haaland? That is the question you need to ask your opponents. Manchester City is not doing that right now, which they really need to improve upon. Internationally, all credit to them, they played excellently. They are the best team in Italy. At least I think so. So Napoli is playing very well right now. We'll see about how that goes on throughout the season, I suppose. We'll see, but internationally, currently at least, the best team in Italy. So defending is their strong suit, I suppose. They got the results they probably wanted. Now, they probably want to go kick on and win the other games. Man City, internationally, probably win all the other games from here on out. Actually, who does Inter play after Manchester City? Internationally. Who are you playing other than Man City? Yeah, they have Red Star Belgrade, that's an easy one. Then Young Boys, also easy. Arsenal, they should win that. It's at home. Actually, they do have some tough fixtures, actually. Yeah, they end off with 2 easier fixtures, but they've got some difficult fixtures internationally. That's going to be interesting to watch. Then, Red Star Belgrade. I believe that's Belgrade. Savara. I don't know how you pronounce that, by the way. I believe it's pronounced Rivena Savara. I believe that's how you pronounce it. But if you're Serbian, tell me down below if that's correct. But I believe it's Rivena Zvezda, or something like that. Tell me down below if that's correct or not. Anyhow, that's besides the point. 1-2 to Benfica. I expected Benfica to win. I expected them to be a bit more comfortable, but that game doesn't tell us a lot. 0-4 Feyenoord Leverkusen doesn't tell us a lot. Leverkusen is just good. Florian Wirtz is goated like that. What else can I say? Brest Sturmgras ended 2-1. I don't know what I expected from that game, to be honest. I mean, Brest played very well, but I mean, did I expect it? I don't know. Sturmgras took a red card. They were winning at some point. Did I expect that? I don't know. I really don't know what I expected from that game, if I'm being honest. Then the final 3 games might be a lot more interesting than the few games we've just talked about. Atalanta against Arsenal. Arsenal have a major problem going into the Etihad like that. They better for themselves fix up. Because you play like that at the Etihad, you lose. It's game over if you play like that at the Etihad. Then Atletico Madrid, 2-1 against RB Leipzig. Atletico Madrid was really struggling with that. Julian Alvarez, another stinker for Atletico. He really needs to fix up, man. They won. I expected them to win. It was a tight game. RB Leipzig can be a difficult team sometimes, but I think that Atletico should have had that down more, if I'm being very honest. They should have really gone in and tried to get that win early. They should have tried to get an early lead so they can defend, but I mean, it's not like Atletico didn't try, it's just they couldn't. Which raises the question, why could you not do that? RB Leipzig should not have been that difficult for Atletico in my opinion. Then Monaco against Barcelona. 2-1. A red card for Barcelona. I believe it was Garcia. Barcelona was controlling that game until the red card. Barcelona probably wins if they don't take that red card. That was stupendous by Ter Stegen, that pass. And then the red card was unlucky, I suppose, for Eric Garcia. He was kind of forced into doing it. Difficult for Garcia, but Barcelona lost against Monaco. I don't think it tells us a lot about Barcelona. It just tells us a board game. I don't think it tells us that Barcelona is this or that. I think Barcelona is still the same. Although they do look a bit weaker going forward without Dani Olmo. Which you might want to find a solution to that, because currently Dani Olmo is all they have. And Dani Olmo is injured right now. You don't really have another attacking midfielder unless you want to slot Ansu Fati in again. It's interesting to see with Barcelona. A bit lackluster maybe, but yeah, we'll see. So do tell me your opinions about the games down below. Tell me if you agree, disagree with anything. Tell me what you were most surprised about. I'll probably say most surprised with the... No, it's a cop-out. I would say the 9-2, but that's a cop-out. I'll say Barcelona losing to Monaco. I was most surprised by that. So yeah, tell me down below what you were most surprised about. Thank you for sticking along to the end. Do like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.